I think it's a toss-up. Biden is a polling error away, right? But he's still behind, at least in most of the polls I've seen. Right? He's still behind. And
at this point, I'd say they're tied.
I gotta say, after that debate, I think this debate was a far and above a home run, touchdown, Hail Mary, whatever you want to call it. If there had been a mercy rule, it would have been enacted within the first 20 minutes. This literally looked like someone that was of a sane mind versus the Crypt Keeper. I can't tell if Biden.
Do you think hold on, Gibbs? Do you think Trump was sane in that? Like,
yeah,
Biden didn't look good. We could admit that Biden did not look good. But Trump didn't look good.
Trump looked like he was in command of his facilities and was able to articulate a point well.
He wasn't able to answer a question.
It was not a home run.
Hold on. I feel like that is cope. I heard several times throughout while that was live happening that y'all were saying he wasn't articulating policies when he directly answered the question and then went furthermore on. Like, just because Biden saw Lincoln's assassination doesn't make him a good president because he's been around that long. The man is clearly old. I actually genuinely feel bad for Biden because the man, I know, feels like he has to run because he doesn't like Trump, but he's 2,000 years old. His mental facilities are in decline. He looks like my grandfather who had dementia, and it's bad. And like, when he stood up there and he's making dolphin noises in the middle of a presidential debate, we look weak. Like, I'm sorry, that's not what I don't care what his foreign policy take is if he can't articulate a sentence.
Look, Biden. Look, it was not a home run, right? Trump could have done better. I do think he still edged it for sure. But he definitely
edged it.
He could have done better. Well, I would agree with you, Gibbs. There were times in which our friends here were like saying he's not answering. When it was a direct answer, actually, I think the clearest one was the border question when it came to helping fentanyl addicts, right? I mean, I think clearly this was an answer, but people maybe I think demonstrated some difficulty to acknowledge that as an answer. The climate change one he dodged completely, right?
Israel-Palestine. He never said anything about Israel-Palestine.
Well, he did say go clean them out.
No, he did say about Israel-Palestine. He didn't answer whether or not there should be an independent Palestinian state, except for end of child care thing too. This is one of my major criticisms. He said he did do this multiple times. He did. I think his answer for the Palestinian state was, "We'll see." I think that was his answer, which is
that's not an answer. Okay, so you say that's an answer, but that's not a fucking answer.
It's an absurdly weak answer. It's an absurdly weak answer.
That's always he gives that answer more than anything else. The "we'll see."
What do you mean? But why do you say that "we'll see" is not a legitimate answer, though?
Well, okay, because if they ask Biden, right, what are you going to do for the economy, and he says, "We'll see."
That's totally different. That's totally
different.
It's
not.
It absolutely is. Whenever we have an active war going on between two countries, and he had just answered, "Hey, well, Israel needs to go in there and clean them out." That's what his word for word verbatim thing was. He said. Then they go after that. They goes, "We should go and talk about two-state solution." And his answer goes, "Well, we'll see afterwards." That's a fair answer because who knows what situation is going to be going on right there? Like, maybe they're not in a position to have a two-state solution. Maybe they are. Like, I think that's a legitimate answer.
Why didn't they ask Biden? Why didn't they ask Biden that question though? That was the first thing that came to my head. Because
Biden did talk about Israel and Palestine. He did answer about Israel. He did talk about Israel and arming Israel.
Well, they both
gave several answers towards that. I don't remember Trump answering anything about Israel.
No. Trump specifically said that he's going to let Israel go in and do what they need to do. Right? He did talk about Israel. The question was of Palestinian statehood. That's the one that Trump didn't answer. But they didn't even ask Biden that. And I think Biden's in a worse position to answer that question because a lot of his support very much wants a Palestinian state.
I mean, I don't think that
it's a tightrope.
To be fair, I think that Biden's a lot more on the record with regard to like the specific proposals and things like that with Israel-Palestine. And it could be some moderator bias. Like, they probably know that Trump doesn't know shit about Israel-Palestine. He still doesn't after being president for 4 fucking years. But I think that the reality is Israel-Palestine, I think, is not... If Biden loses, it's not because of Israel-Palestine. I'd be very surprised. Like, I think that at the end of the day, Muslim voters in swing states, 2/3 of them are going to vote for Biden, just like they did in 2020. I'd be surprised if there was any other thing that would happen. Young voters, like all the polling on young voters shows that, guess what? Pretty much the same. About 60-65% of them are going to vote for Biden. Israel-Palestine's just not... It's just, unfortunately to many activists, it's just not moving the needle as much as they might have figured it would. I think that...
Except for Michigan. That's the one.
No, but even in... No. Even in Michigan, every single 2/3 of those Muslims in Dearborn are going to vote for Biden. I'd be very surprised if anything else happened in that state. And to be fair, I don't know if they'll make a difference on the margin, even if they don't. But anything's possible. But at the end of the day, though, I think that we're willing to recognize, everyone here except for Gibbs basically is willing to recognize that both of these candidates are really not ideal debaters. And they both did, like, let's say, not very optimally. Whether or not we individually think Biden or Trump did badly, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, that's why I'm curious to see what the polls are. I'm surprised they don't have polls out yet, because usually they have like instant, like either focus groups or things like that where polls come out. So I'll be really interested to see how people perceive this
Maybe
debate. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just reflective of basically what the current polling is. People who support Biden say Biden won. People who support Trump say Trump won. And then there's like some margin of people that are like, I don't know, like fucking could be anybody, right? So I don't know. It's hard to say.
I feel like we also have to factor in the expectations game, right? Like, what were people expecting before the debate? Like, we were told that he would wander off the stage and wouldn't be able to find his podium, and he would just be drooling into the microphone. Like, I think he beat those expectations. He still sounded
Bare minimum.
That happened a few times.
I agree with Gibbs.
Yeah.
Standing next to Trump, who's like, has a stronger, more boisterous voice, certainly makes him seem weaker in comparison. And on a purely stylistic point of view, Trump gets more points, right? He just does. So if you're a low information voter and you're just going off vibes, then then Trump did better than Biden. But if you're going into it with the expectation of him being like, locked into a wheelchair and maybe standing up for 5 minutes at a time.
Come on,
let alone riding a bike.
I'm sorry. ICAL. He did not meet the expectations that we had for cognizance. The standard was the State of the Union. That's what he needed to do. He did not. We can't lie.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I think you haven't been watching Fox News, because the way they describe his condition and the clips that they like show on a reel or whatever are far worse than what we saw today. What we saw today was a middling performance with somebody who has a speech impediment, and he just sounded weak on stage. I agree. Stylistically, that's the way it is.
Biden also looked ridiculous too.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong, Iko.
His
like
mouth
right now
was open the whole time.
On MSNBC currently, Joy Reid has just said, my phone never stopped buzzing throughout. The universal reaction from every single person I know that watched this debate was pure panic. That's what the thing is. This looked exactly what Fox. That's what exactly.
He looked like
Fox
a deer caught in headlights the whole time.
But he
go to
looks
Twitter.
terrible. Like, it's awful. Like,
fair enough.
I don't know how you can sit here and say this is what I gave Wick kind of a hard time at the beginning of this, where I've heard from several people say, we don't care if Biden's incompetent or whatever because of the people he's put around him. Okay, now y'all need to stand by that, because y'all are admitting that y'all are not voting for the Biden.
I'm voting for policies. To be clear.
Sure.
No, Gibbs, I'll answer you. I'm voting for policies, and the policies that Biden's administration are putting forward are just above and beyond Trump's.
Sure.
I think he's better on the economy.
Sure, I know that you are doing that.
Policy. That's what I'm doing. Again, I'm disappointed in Biden.
But I understand that you're doing that
tonight. I'm disappointed in Biden. Let me finish. I'm disappointed in Biden tonight. I am. He needed to do better. He did not. He lost this debate. That said, again, I'm going to be voting for Biden even if he's in a coma. Okay? I'll be clear, because he's a figurehead. I'm voting for his administration. That's what I'm doing. Straight up. Finish your thought, and then we can.
Did you see Border Patrol's statement on Twitter?
I'm not trying to. No, I haven't seen that yet. But we'll come back to that one second. I'm not saying that you're doing that, Wick. I know that you've advocated that from day one. You stand by that position. I think that there is a large swath of independents that when they watch this, it's going to be hard for them to vote for their dementia, like addled grandfather, and that's something that, because I don't think most people trust the idea of voting for the surrounding support system. I know that argument's come up with Reagan to that, and I've said I wouldn't have voted for Reagan back in the day because of that. But now that we have the 24-hour news cycle, it's much more evident, and I think tonight was a great example of that.
Yeah, Border Patrol just put a statement in here, quote, "To be clear, we never have and never will support Biden or endorse Biden."
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I thought that was a weird thing to say.
Damn.
Oh, actually, no. He did get okay. So there's two organizations apparently.
Border Patrol Union.
Why they both said that.
Border Patrol Union. That's an important clarification.
Yeah. Hold on. There, I
mean,
saw the
there's
article
probably,
with
yeah. I
endorsement
assume
happened.
Biden's not I assume there's like some foundation or I don't know what he's referring to, but I mean that's not gonna in all the lies that Trump says per minute. I don't think anything Biden says incorrectly is gonna get too much coverage. I mean, maybe it will in some spaces. I think an interesting question that hasn't been asked here is, and this is actually there's some interesting speculation about this. Obviously, all over the place right now is what is the probability that Biden is not the actual Democratic candidate come November? Is there any realistic possibility that
I think it's
he
yeah.
does not make it to November because somebody else steps in?
Well,
I
you know what
think
the
it's
conspiracy is,
higher
right?
today. I think it's higher today than it was this
Definitely.
morning.
Yeah, I
It's
agree with
higher
that.
today
Yeah,
than it was
yeah.
this morning. It's still not high. It's still not high, but it is higher now than it was before this debate. It just
Well,
is.
you know what the conspiracy is, right? This is that the whole thing with all the Boeing stuff. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but this is a lot of I've seen a lot of conservatives been posting it. Is that the Boeing stuff is just the preamble to get people to expect it to be normal when Trump's Boeing plane goes down, and then they can replace Biden with
Okay,
somebody else.
that's stupid.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If there's already this out,
conspiracy.
this is. I know it is.
That's
I know it is. But this is already
retarded.
out. It's already out in the wild. So whenever that's already out in the wild, the idea that Biden could be replaced by the time, especially after this poor performance,
That was out
is
in
pretty.
2020 as well.
Yeah,
They
but
said
it's
the same
pretty
thing.
clear. It's pretty clear to me that the Dems are like shaking, but with need to put somebody else in there.
If
There's
Biden is not replaced by the end of the summer, he's not going to be replaced. I will say that I do think that the reality is I do think that a Democrat could come in. It's just that it's a matter of like if we expect a Democrat to come in, he or she has to come in like right now. And the question is, do we expect Biden to be to step down from the ticket and for a replacement to kind of be decided? By the way, what the fuck does it even what would it even look like for a replacement to be decided on? Because the convention is not even until August. But if there's some presumptive nominee, it has to happen soon. And I just can't imagine that it would happen anytime soon. Which is to say, I can't imagine that it'll happen. But it could. It could though.
Yeah, like I
agree with
like
Nick.
yeah, it's one of those things where what would that entail, right? What would the process be? Would it simply be Kamala, right? Would he just step
No,
down
it'd
and
be
Kamala
Gavin- it'd be
be
Gavin Newsom.
presumptive?
I think what would happen
Gavin
is
Newsom?
there would be. I think what would happen is there would be a really, really large amount of back channeling to win on the convention floor, and what would my assumption would be that what would likely happen is somebody like a Gavin Newsom would kind of be able to quickly get a clear majority of the vote in that like implied convention ballot, and then the convention will not be contested.
Yeah,
But
this
there'll
is
be a lot
why
of back channeling.
this is why I don't think this is gonna. It's just it can't happen because that's never going to be accepted by people who don't like the candidate. It will be seen as we didn't vote for this guy
Yeah.
in the primary.
I disagree.
We-
I disagree. I think I do think that there is actually, I think there is a really large appetite. Not like an act. And this is why I think this could actually work out. Is like there's not like a militantly upset huge portion of the Democratic Party that just hates Biden's guts. However, there are a shitload of people in the Democratic Party that have kind of tacitly said, yeah, we wish that somebody else would be the candidate, but I guess he's the incumbent. And so I think if something like if Biden was open and said, I'm stepping down in the next 2 weeks, I think that Democrats would welcome it. And to be fair, the polls seem to indicate that basically any Democrat would probably at least poll better than President Trump in the current state of things. So
Can I ask
don't
you a
think-
related question, Economy?
I think
let me
whoever it
ask
is would lose to Trump. I think that'd be it. They wouldn't be able to build up the momentum. That would
Just
be
possible.
Just a quick related question, Economy, since you brought this up. What do you
Yep.
think the odds are that if, say, he didn't willingly step down, what do you like? How bad would it have to get before they would invoke the clause that he had to step down, or they were going to put the vice president in? Like what is that? I'm forgetting off the top of my head what the clause is. But
I mean, he's not. He's not.
What
gonna
do you
be
think? How bad it would be?
impeached.
No,
there's
not
literally
impeached.
zero-
But was it Article 42?
No, the one where they remove you for incompetence. I remember.
Yeah,
They,
how
they
bad-
tried to do this with Trump a couple times.
No,
Yeah,
there's essentially a
not,
0%
no
chance that would happen. I think that I mean to be fair, if Biden like actually had severe dementia, a la Dianne Feinstein, I think something like that could happen. But that's just look. The reality is this performance and every single previous moment from President Biden, there is just not actually a lot of evidence that he literally has dementia or Alzheimer's or anything like that. There's a lot of evidence that he's really fucking old and he speaks like a slow old man. but he doesn't have
Well, and 3
dementia.
aneurysms
He
as
just
well,
doesn't.
right?
People conflate
Well,
those
I don't
things.
know his medical
Yeah.
history, but it's
Yeah,
just
he
clear to
said
me that
three
he doesn't have.
aneurysms.
I want to.
Yeah.
I want to.
There have been rumors of for Trump on the aneurysms too.
I want to push on that though, because I think what Econoboy just said is very true. He sounded old. He sounded slow. He didn't sound crazy, right?
Yeah.
He didn't sound crazy. We haven't heard from Daniela on this one. I want to hear from Daniela.
Well, I did want to say.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Well, I did want to say earlier that Aiko was talking about how people don't vote on vibes, but I get the impression a lot of
No,
Americans
people do
do. I
vote
mean,
on
people
vibes. No,
don't vote purely on policy.
I didn't mean to say that. No. Vibes are probably the most important thing here, which is why
Okay.
I'm willing to concede that among the American people, Trump probably won on this. This reminds me of Nixon versus Kennedy in 1960. People who listened to the debates on the radio thought Nixon won, and the people who watched it on television thought Kennedy won. And I think here you have the same sort of thing where if you're going on vibes, you're gonna think Trump won. If you're paying attention to the points, if you're flowing the debate, then I think Biden wins because he answers the questions clearly and succinctly. But he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it with like confidence and strength the way he did. So, and I think you're right that most people watch these debates casually, and so probably now that I have more time to reflect on it, probably Trump did win based on vibes.
Just some housekeeping things. Gang, you guys want me to open this up? I will if you pay me money. Get me some gift subs, $50 worth, okay? And we will get this party started.
Let's see if I have a prime.
But
Can I
yeah,
fact check real quick? There was a couple
Please.
of things that were said from Joe Biden that I think are just false. I know that people here are going to talk about things that Trump said that are false, but
he was wrong on Border Patrol.
Yeah, he was wrong there. He was wrong on the very fine people like the very fine people comment. That is something that's constantly repeated. And he said he specifically said he was calling the Nazis very fine people. When we look at that whole statement, he specifically excluded them. The abortion conversation.
Yeah, we went through that as a country with a fine-tooth comb, like
right,
you're
yeah, right. But yeah, and it was just wrong. The abortion, Minnesota, for example, has abortion up until birth with there's no like restrictions on that. So there are places in the country now. I don't know how
you can do it for funsies at birth.
Yeah, up until birth. In Minnesota, I just Wikipedia'd it. Look into it. Look into it right now.
I will.
Sure, I did during the debate.
MSNBC just called to remove Biden from Canada.
I did during the debate, and so.
But to be clear, under Trump, they still would be able to, right? Because he says, "Let
right."
The
Well, I was just about to say that, right? So I don't think there would have been like a decent response there when he's like going on and on about it going up to the states.
Right.
But that was not true. What Biden said, and then also Trump cutting Social Security. He has said multiple times that he's not going to do that. So I don't know why that was also brought up. I mean, that was
$5.
He said it very
His
explicitly.
party says they'll
just
do
real
it,
quick,
but he
$5
doesn't.
from Michael Smith to say this. Biden didn't sound crazy at any point, but especially early in the debate, he had stretches where he sounded unintelligible and incomprehensible. Yeah, he stuttered, he mumbled. It was not good.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I mean, we all agree that the first part of the debate, the first part of the debate is like, honestly, that might be like the worst 5 minutes in like presidential debate history. I don't know if I've ever seen like a worse beginning of a presidential
15 minutes,
debate.
yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, or however long basically the economy section was, like that might actually be the like worst single like clip of presidential debate time that I've ever
You should
seen.
have had 20 minutes of warm up before you got on stage.
Yeah, I don't know what because seriously, he seemed to get a lot better as the debate went on. Some people get nervous. I mean, he's the fucking president, right? So you
whatever drug they gave him, they gave it too late.
But
I don't think it was a drug, actually. Something that I noticed is when he would go back and forth, he would get heated up, and then he would start being more cognizant. But then when they came back from the break, he was also fumbling over his words. So it seems like if he's not like currently engaged for an extended period of time,
like a car.
Yeah,
he's got to get going.
Yeah, he's got to get
It's time to
going.
warm up.
Exactly, right. So at the beginning,
Hunter
he was
should have brought him a
terrible.
line. We all know that. He should have
talked to Trump during the break. Like
He should have. He should have. Honestly, he could have done the better for him.
I've done a lot of I've done a lot of bagging on Biden here, and he deserves it. He
Bagging
did
on Biden. I'm going to use that.
bagging on Biden here. Well, he deserves it. He did poorly.
That's a
You
bumper
can't
sticker
lie
right
about
there.
this. But this is
You
the
gotta
thing
do a
that should
shirt.
give Gibbs. This is what should worry you, This is what you should be concerned about. As bad as Biden was, he was still able to cook Trump on several points. And Trump can't beat a addled, comatose old man. How's he going to beat fucking Putin? How's he going to beat fucking Xi Jinping? How's he going to deal with these leaders, right? So that's what should worry you. That even though Biden did poorly, Trump still wasn't able to knock it out of the park. He still wasn't able to perform and beat Biden on every single point. Look, I could have beat Biden on every single point. I could have beat Trump on every single point. I'm not the best debater in the world, but you put me on that stage up against either of those clowns, I would have done better than both of them. Okay, I could have debated both at once.
Just to respond to that,
Democrat could have done 100 times better. Like all of us could have done better.
Yes.
Than Biden in this.
Everybody here could have done so much better
to be fair,
than
he was
either of them.
debating a dementia patient, so he should have done extremely well.
To be fair, before we went on, when we started the debate, what did I say? All I said was Biden has to survive to win. That was the low bar. I don't know how you just set a lower bar than that. And guess what? I would argue that he didn't accomplish that. Like right now, just the last 30 seconds while we were talking, I have MSC going, Rachel Maddow and 2 other co-hosts, so 3 of the co-hosts doing analysts right now. So that's 4 then, have all called for Biden to step down before the convention or be replaced.
Wait, Andrew Yang,
just now, 1 hour ago, he said,
no,
guys.
Whenever you have your biggest supporter, I don't know about Andrew Yang, but I'm not talking about that. The point is, whenever you have as blue as you can get MSNBC calling for someone to step down this late in the process, that is not surviving the debate.
Yeah, you're right. He is a third party candidate. And I didn't even I never heard of his fucking third party.
Yeah. Of course he's going to call for his...
CNN is calling for it now, too. CNN just called for it.
Andrew Yang doesn't matter here. Let's be clear. No one's voting for Andrew Yang. But
I think that there's definitely going to be some internal... There's definitely going to be a lot of internal jockeying, and I think that people like...
CNN called for it just now.
Yeah, I think that people like Gavin Newsom or like Kamala Harris will definitely be... they'll be calling up donors, and they'll be like, hey, if we really do this, like, I think a lot of that stuff will probably be happening. But again, I'd be it would be shocking to me if there, like people are saying, an open convention, or it would be very, very surprising to me if anything, if Biden's not going to run, it's because Biden himself has decided he's just not going to do it, and nobody's going to challenge nobody.
Yeah, if he gets a stroke or something,
the Democrats just aren't built that way. Like nobody's going to openly challenge a sitting Democratic president.
Boy, I'm going to push back on you. I think there are plenty of the Justice Democrat motherfuckers who are absolutely...
You mean the ones that are losing their House seats?
Yeah. Right? Yeah, the ones that no one's voting for, right? Like they can't win an election.
Maybe Nina fucking Turner is like, I'm going to challenge Biden at the convention. But like, no, like nobody's serious. Like nobody, even like AOC, Ro Khanna, I know Jamal Bowman's going to do a great job, but like he's not going to, none of these guys are going to... Yeah, Corey Bush, even I'd be, none of these guys are. He will have no serious challengers unless he voluntarily.
It will be super annoying on Twitter for the next few days, though. I will say that.
I didn't get the impression that Democrats are strong on Biden at all. I mean, I thought I got the impression that Democrats, this is just like they're kind of forced to accept him. Is that?
Yeah.
$10.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
$10 from Doobie.
I would think.
Nice.
They should have given Biden an IV of cocaine, meth, Adderall, and adrenochrome in the souls of orphan children because he seems simultaneously confused and severely cotton-mouthed 90% of the debate.
No,
Trump was transparent. Hold on, let me finish. Trump was transparently full of shit, and Biden miraculously made him seem coherent.
They should have given him adrenochrome. Why aren't they doing that?
No, here's the thing about the
shouldn't it be working?
There's going to be a lot of people who are saying this is it, this is the end, it's game, set, match. And if I had only listened to the first 10 minutes of the debate, I would agree. That was a disaster. But I think that Trump did poorly enough and Biden didn't entirely lose, right? He lost 90%, but he didn't lose that 100, okay? And this sounds like cope, I know, but I'm being serious here. I think that Biden can still win. It's going to be harder, but I think that replacing Biden is death. I don't think we win if we replace Biden at all.
I mean, Biden can obviously still win. I do, generally speaking, though, I do strongly disagree with the idea that if we did replace Biden, we would definitely lose. Like I think that on the advantage that any non-incumbent has is the lack of a national record, right? That you're not necessarily running on the record that you have for being president, right? You're an open book, right? It's like when Trump was running in 2016, he would say, "Well, what's your plan for ISIS?" "Oh, I've got a great plan, but I can't tell you. I'm going to keep that a secret," right? And it's like, well, fuck. I mean, he's never been president before. Who the fuck knows, right? The next debate is literally in like almost 2.5 months. It's in early September.
That's ridiculous.
Like it's a long time from now. And so, I think the polls are going to look bad for the next couple weeks, but I think, we'll probably be back to basically the state.
Well,
that
we've
we're
got
in
the conventions
currently.
coming up, so that's going to make a big
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, sure. There'll be some bumps in the polls and
And
stuff
again,
like that.
gang, we've had $15 worth of donations. I need 35 more before we open it up. So if you want on the show, if you want to get in on this, $35 more, we can open up the pit and we can bring you on and you can yell at us if you'd like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that
Here's really quick.
Go ahead,
Here's
please.
an interesting idea. If I were Biden, I would be absolutely fighting to have RFK Jr. on the next presidential debate stage. Okay, this is my radical idea. Okay, because RFK Jr. is a nut job, and he sounds insane. Like he just sounds insane when he talks because he has. I think he has some.
He sounds like Farmer Fran.
Like he sounds bad when he speaks, obviously, and I think that if you combine the fact that you've got an insane person on the stage with the fact that he sounds bad, you look great by comparison.
He
So
looks
Biden,
worse.
you need to
That's
And it's
No,
mostly
you're
Republicans who like him, right?
yeah,
So he's
RFK
really more
will
for-
sound worse. It's brilliant, actually. Yeah, you should have done
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's like when a hot girl's
Exactly.
next to the fat girl at the club. Like you always like it's the same concept. Like that's what you're doing.
Seriously,
Right
like
there.
I think it's if I've heard rumors that RFK Jr. is going to be dropping out because he's running out of money, can't get on any ballots. But if he's still in the fucking race by September, Biden, you need to push to have him included on the debate stage. Okay, push for
Is
it.
that-
I think
is that when the next debate is in September?
September 10th, according to
September
Wikipedia.
I mean, there might
I-
be an intermediate one if the right
If-
offer.
Yeah,
comes
if I
around.
was Biden, what I would be doing is looking to move that date up. We can't have that long of a time between debates, as disastrous as this was. He needs anything to break this news cycle. Right.
My question is, what if Trump is in jail by September?
Well, here we are.
Where do they
Right.
put him on does he get out for the debate, or does he do it from the jail?
From
Work
jail,
release.
that would be great. honestly.
Work release. He gets
The
a work
Zoom
release.
meeting.
Work release.
And thank you
Elegant
for the
from the
gift
shitty
sub,
prison
Admiral
phone.
Gibbs. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it'd be funny.
Did we ever figure out what the fact checks were? I mean, did they ever do that
Who
once in the
cares?
debate?
I didn't-
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, I didn't see any on the.
I wonder what they meant by
science
that.
or anything. Artemis Fowl, thank you for the member for 3 months. I woke up early to catch the debate. iCal Rich, thank you for the subscribe to tier 2. And we got a hype train going on Twitch, gang. So if you want to give me some more money there, now's the time for that. But here's the deal,
Oh, yeah.
ladies and
Yep.
gentlemen.
Get those
right?
emotes.
Oh, and $20 from Tupper's Kill, my contribution to get people on and yelling
There you go.
fund. And I think we've reached it, gang. So if you have large thoughts, if you have big thoughts,
That's you before the big thoughts.
jump backstage, get in the
93%.
Discord, jump backstage.
I am so upset that there's no polls out. Like normally it's literally within fucking 2 minutes of the debate being
I mean,
over,
there's
polls
a
out.
stupid-
No one's
Mainstream media.
excited
It's the,
about
no,
personal
it's the mainstream media. They don't want to
There's
show their
stupid
candidate
phone
losing.
polls where you can vote as many
Well,
times
there's
as you
no
want, but-
Fox News polls
yeah.
out. Like fuck, you'd figure there'd be some polls at least.
Yeah.
I mean, Aiko, you mentioned data for progress, but I'm just not finding that.
No, that was a preliminary one, and it wasn't finished. It was just it had 250, like a number of 250 at the time, and I haven't seen any updates on it, so I don't know.
Okay,
I mean, maybe we'll have to wait until tomorrow. But
new people. Hello, new people. Welcome.
Yo, liberal, Econo Boy, what's up, man?
Hello.
In your face.
what's up, my
Cameras,
dude?
if we got them, please.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's amazing to see O'Connor Boy.
If I have to be on
I
camera, you guys
love
have
that
to be on
he's got a
camera
face
too.
cam now.
$2 from Artemis Fowl. I am coming. Don't come. No, you can come, buddy, but yeah.
Do not come.
Do not come.
Oh my goodness, why is my camera not working?
I don't know. So for the new people, what are your thoughts? What do we think? Who Go ahead.
It was painful. I'm not gonna lie. It was painful to watch as a Biden supporter. I think that hold on, what's this guy's name? I just see an I, but the guy with the big bushy beard. Well, like he said, if you were watching it and you were looking for substance, you think that Biden did well. If you were watching it and you were looking for vibes, which I think most Americans probably are,
Right.
especially like undecided independents, then Trump definitely got that. But
Yeah.
like the thing, I'm a substance person, so I was listening to the things that they were saying, and I was like, Trump is fucking insane. Yes, Biden looks old and he looks decrepit and he looks like he should be 6 foot under, but
Oh my
Trump
goodness.
is fucking insane. Like,
They should give him a spray tan like Trump has.
They should.
She could compete
Okay.
on that level.
Other new people, go ahead. I can't see your names very well because there's too many on screen, but you know who you are.
Who would you like to go first?
Pick one.
Okay, I'll go first. I don't know why anybody here thinks that Biden won on the substance, because everything he was talking about is the things that nobody gave a shit about and are not affecting them tangibly in any way. He was talking about giving $50 billion to black colleges, and Trump is talking about how the inflation has wiped out people's incomes to the point where they can barely afford things. For example, before 2022, people had less than $500, didn't have enough money to cover a $500 emergency, and everything has become far more expensive then than it did now, and wages have not come up to even close to matching the increase in prices of everything. So Biden giving money to fucking colleges is not going to save the black families who are fucking desperately struggling. So he has missed entirely the note on that. Does anybody disagree to that?
Yes,
Hugely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you not listen to the part where he talked about no one making less than $400,000 a year doesn't get their taxes increased? The child tax credit. I mean, what about any of those points?
The child tax credit is very popular.
That's easy. So when Biden said that he was going to double or triple the size of the IRS and they're going to go after all the rich people, guess what they didn't do? They didn't go after the rich people. They went after all the poor people who couldn't afford like tax attorneys and all that shit. And they have been targeting poor people. Poor people don't have fucking money to cover inflation. I don't know why this is not getting to you guys.
I'm wondering,
Poor people don't give a shit about black-owned colleges.
Wait, have you actually seen anything? Like, have you seen anything substantial to make you believe that, or is like because
the fact that the IRS has been focusing on poor people and not rich people?
Based on what?
What have you seen?
Yeah, where's the data on that?
Oh.
I mean, no, hold on. You guys are that's a really autistic defense. They are obviously and definitely targeting poor people, but the argument against that is that's who tends to commit tax fraud is poor and middle class people, not people who make over $400,000.
So yeah, I'm not saying
they are 80% of tax fraud cases.
I'm just saying that
because they have accountants.
Hold on, to be clear, Biden said that the hiring of those IRS agents was to go after the rich people, not to focus.
Yeah, and he lied about that. But
he lied. Yes, I know.
Trump has done the same thing to bolster policies that were good for a different reason, clear, but they have to sell it for the reason it's more popular amongst
to be clear. Thank you for admitting the obvious fact. I didn't want to have to go grab it, but thank you for admitting it. I don't know why these fucking people can.
When we say let's address this. I want to really quick.
Hold on. Blacktoid, then Econoboy, and then we'll go to Danielle, and that's what order we're going to go in.
So, I mean, look, Artemis, I don't really disagree that, when I'm looking at the substance, I find myself agreeing more with the Trump points than I do with the Biden points. But I almost feel as though when we're saying substance, we're really just sort of saying, like, this candidate agreed with my platform more. Right? I'm looking at the Twitter post that, and Wick, even your post, you're saying, yeah, he did bad, but like, look at the substance. Look at what he stands for. And yeah, if you agree with Biden's policies, you're going to like what he had to say because he was reiterating his policies. So you're going to support him.
That's not how I score a debate. When I score a debate, I score it based on if somebody asks you a question, you answer it with detail. and that's what he was doing, and that's not what Trump was doing.
Yeah, but that's
Okay,
the way.
Wait. So Trump
Even if I
did.
disagreed with,
Trump,
like in 2012, Romney clearly won debate one on the points, not just
sure.
stylistically, but on the points, and it's because he understood these economic issues, which that debate was about, better than Obama did. And I disagreed with Romney on all of that stuff, but it was clear that he won on the points because I flowed the debate, and he just won the debate on most of the points.
Aiko, he did.
Even though I disagreed with him.
Trump eventually got to the answers. I agree with you that he had to be asked several times, a couple times. But on the like, for example, the HBCU point, that was right in the middle of the climate change answer, right? And I thought it was telling how that answer, like he just inserted that into the climate change answer, and this was immediately following. People were here criticizing Trump for not answering the climate change question and instead talking about the race element. But then when Biden does it, he's not getting the same level of criticism.
Well, okay, but the climate change question was, what are you going to do to reduce CO2 emissions into the atmosphere? That question was never answered.
It wasn't answered. Hold on, it wasn't answered by Biden either. He just repeated things that had already happened.
Okay,
so
I want to get
under that same definition. Biden did not answer the question either.
Trump also did answer the question.
You guys
later.
I want to get other people in on this. I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to talk today. Doobie hasn't said a word. I'm sorry. What's your name? R starts with R. Hasn't said a word. Danielle has been silent for a while. Gibbs has been silent for a while. I want to get these people in on this. So we're gonna pass the mic to Doobie. See what he has to say.
I think you guys are fucking crazy. Like, so this idea that he won the policy somehow is like, who gives a fuck? Who cares if he was more correct in his answers? He sounded like he was running out of like max brain capacity anytime he said anything. He could barely get through a sentence without fucking up. He sounded like he was like legit like running out of like RAM or something mid sentence and needing to like reboot his brain to keep going. It was embarrassing. Like the arrogance that led the Democrat Party to put this guy on stage is fucking astounding. I don't understand. Trump the dream candidate. Obviously a bullshitter, bullshitting through the entire debate, a laundry list of baggage, and still the Democrat Party managed to miraculously find a dude that is somehow fucking worse on every fucking point.
With all of their rules accepted, he still got dumpstered on. Like you can't say an aesthetic loss is okay because policy carries him when he set the rules for the debate.
So nobody
every single rule.
Nobody here is saying that.
You guys are like politically engaged people. You guys give a fuck about policy. You guys read articles and shit like this. Yes. The average person does not have time to do that. Okay, they don't do this.
I don't think anybody.
They watch the headlines. They're gonna watch the first half hour of the debate. Say Biden was stumbling all over the fucking place, could barely speak, and that's what they're gonna take away from this.
Yeah, I don't think anybody here disagrees with that, which is why we're talking about the substance, because I think that's going to be
the things that don't matter.
Disagrees.
The substance also.
What Doobie's saying, substance matter.
Hold on. Substance also.
Hold on.
Shit.
Let me clarify. Elections are not won on the backs of YouTube political podcasts. People.
We can agree with that.
They're won by the average populace. So we're not talking about
raise your hands. Who disagrees with that?
Hold on. Let me finish my point. When we're talking about who won the debate, right? You're throwing out policy and stuff like this in hyper niche things you're going to agree with, or like the other side is going to disagree with. But when the average American watching this fucking debate is going to go, "Hey, he's saying all these things that I don't care about. I can't feed my kids."
Okay, raise your hands. Who disagrees with that?
Hold on. No, I disagree because the average American can absolutely feed their kids. This idea that everyone's starving in America is bullshit.
Obviously, everything Artemis says on policy is
Econo, go ahead.
Well, yeah, obviously, anytime Artemis talks about any policy, everyone should close their ears for fear of becoming even.
This is the man that's fucking.
They currently are. Now, listen. To be fair, Artemis is dumb as shit on policy, but with regard to what he's saying specifically about the, who won or lost the debate, again, none of us really disagree that it seems like Biden lost on aesthetics and, presentation, certainly, but there's multiple axes by which you can win and lose the debate. I think that all that Aiko is saying and all that, the Democratic leaning people are here saying is that, yeah, we feel like Biden did a little bit better on the substantive issues, but obviously he looked bad. Right? I mean,
yeah, but the issue.
But the point of a debate is to.
How the fuck do you fumble January 6th?
Danielle.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Daniela.
Oh, I was going to say, the point of them hosting these debates is that so they can have people vote a specific way, right? And unfortunately, the average American isn't smart enough to evaluate policies. They're not people like us.
But
So
the
I mean,
thing
that's
is-
essentially the.
Holy shit.
They're not people like us.
No, listen. When she refers to capacity,
I
it doesn't
agree,
just mean
kinda,
mental
actually.
capacity. Well, it doesn't just refer to mental capacity. It also like attention capacity. They have so many things they're worried about. Can they really just sit there and do a bunch of research after the debate to see who lied more? Because the idea, by the way, that
Exactly.
Trump was the
Yeah,
only
they
one
can.
up there lying is
We
fucking
love the
absurd.
poorly educated.
No, I mean, Trump lied.
but hold
Biden
on,
lied
but-
multiple times. I documented it.
Yeah.
Can we get a
yeah,
list of
but-
Biden lies? What are we talking about?
Yeah, so the
I give
idea
you
that
three
you
right
could
off the bat.
tax the idea
it's
that you
true.
could just tax billionaires 24% and get rid of quote the whole debt. Even being charitable and assuming he meant the deficit, still fucking wrong. Two, saying that by taxing them you would be able to uphold Social Security. That mentality is what is leading to Social Security being insolvent. The idea that you can get all of these people retirement without any of them increasing their contribution along with inflation obviously is going to leave the program insolvent, which is why we probably should do something to
Let me interject.
To be
this.
fair,
Hold on. Let me interject this because I think this is an interesting question, right? When we talk about normies, because I think Daniela is right. They're not people like us, right? Like they're normies, okay? They're different. They're chatters, and their chatters are lessers. Just to be clear.
NPCs.
Yes, NPCs.
No, they're not even chatters, really.
But here's the thing.
Unless they
I think amongst normies, already baked into the cake, Biden's old, Biden's kind of weird, Biden's kind of not with it.
No,
I don't know if the normie cares if he's with it, honestly.
Cope.
I think that's already
Fucking
baked into the
Cope.
cake.
One of the biggest
I gotta
concerns
give you
people
that.
have about Biden is if he can
Yes,
stay fucking
because they
coherent.
already think
he
he is.
just proved he can't.
Yeah, so
Multiple times.
Wick,
Yes.
just to address that point, this is why I brought up the mainstream idiots that we were
He
talking
got,
about.
hold on. Jebtan, that's Cope, right? Trump couldn't beat a comatose man.
Hold on.
He
knock
did-
out
he
his
did
heart.
beat him.
He
Hold
just
on.
beat the fuck out of him.
No,
he threw
did
him
not.
around
It
like
was not a
Hulk threw
home run.
Loki
Even
around.
Lacroix admits that it wasn't a home run.
Well,
Yes,
there's
It wasn't a
No,
home
it
run, but he
wasn't a
still
home
won,
run
though.
it wasn't a home run in a
but
vacuum,
look,
but against Biden is where he looked amazing. That's the
Again.
problem.
Again, here's the thing. Trump lost several of these points. He didn't lose most of them. He won most of them, but Trump lost several of these
So then why are
points.
you
True.
saying why can't he beat the comatose guy? He did beat him. Correct?
So one thing
Not
I-
at every
Don't laugh.
point.
You set yourself up
Again,
on the
if
indefensible
I was up
point,
there,
and now
I
you're
would have
laughing
beaten.
when you can't
I would have
defend
beaten
it.
either of those things on every single
So, but-
fucking
but
I
point.
don't
Every
think
single-
anyone could
Look,
beat Biden
our
on
demented
January
guy
6th.
is better than
Don't
your
think
demented guy.
Hold on.
Okay,
That's
let's.
true.
That's
Biden's
about where we
dementia,
are.
I will take
Okay.
it 100%. Trump did not move the lead.
Hold on, Wick. So just to push
no,
back on
Biden
this,
moved
right?
it for him.
Yeah. So this is the thing right here, right? Like we're talking about the normies. You talked in the intro about not wanting to like watch these other people like jokingly. We wanted our political opinions instead of the mainstream. I'm not going to be one of these people saying the normies don't understand policies. But what the normies do intend to do is watch the cable news talking heads. And when the people on the blue side are sitting here saying, "Holy fuck, we got to replace him," and they're the prominent members on both CNN and MSNBC now. That's an L. Now we're not going to sit here and argue. Oh, did Biden get a touchdown on this 2 issues? Oh, Biden got a touchdown on this. That was a 21-point skunk. Now was it a 55-point skunk? No, but it was 21 points to like 3. That's an ass whooping. He lost definitively. He looked bad doing it, and dear God, the Dems want to replace him now. Like that's a loss in every metric.
I don't think the Dems are replacing
Look
him.
at the look at the last month. Biden has been saying the Republicans are just showing deep fake videos of me. I've never been that incoherent. They've been
Republicans are showing fake
Hold on, stop.
But they are though.
This one wasn't deepfaked.
Just let me get through the 15 seconds. Let me get through the 15 seconds. If what Wick was saying is true, which is that the normal people don't care, why would Biden be spending the entire last 2 weeks on it? Obviously, someone in his political strategy team is aware of the fact that the voters care a lot. And that's why all he's been doing is, 1, denying that the economy sucks for a lot of people right now, which it does, and 2, denying that he's incoherent, which he obviously is. The first thing he did was be incoherent while denying to people's faces that they're struggling in the economy. That's an L for the whole
topic
debate.
to do that. Yeah.
Literally, he was.
That was a
incoherent
disaster.
And then
I'm not
looked at the
disagreeing
American
with
people's
that,
face and
but
said,
he was
"You
able.
aren't struggling
He
the way
was
that you say
able.
you are."
He was able to beat Trump on foreign policy. He was able to beat Trump on criminality.
How?
He
Not really.
He
It was
did.
how?
The line
how did he beat him?
He
was
beat
like
Trump on
this,
childcare. I'll give him that.
Child care.
Trump's
he beat him,
answers
yeah.
about foreign policy were was one of the most incoherent things I've ever heard. He had never answered a question on
So were
foreign policy.
Biden's. Biden said
He was asked about Palestine. I still don't know what he had to say because he didn't talk about Palestine at all. He didn't say shit about this. Give me the clip where he answered that question.
Hold on.
Give me the clip where he answered about what was the one? The child tax stuff, the child tax credit.
Yeah. Neither one of them really talked about it.
Right. Give me the clip.
He did answer the Israel stuff, though.
Yeah, he
but
did.
not the Palestine stuff. And his
Why would he care
answer to
about
the
the
Israel
Palestine
stuff
stuff? He's
was
not a Palestine supporter.
That's not a fucking answer.
Well, the answer to the Israel stuff was we're going to step back and let them do it, which that's kind of an answer. It's a little bit of a perfect answer, but it is an answer.
Well, there's also the idea, like his answer to Ukraine is that it wouldn't have happened under me, and he has nothing to back that up.
It literally did not happen under him. I don't know what
Russia
talking
literally
about.
He's not wrong.
But if he had fucking done anything, it wouldn't have happened.
The first incident of a Russian military going against the first incident of
2014
military going against Ukrainian military happened after the 2014 thing was under Trump, the Kerch Strait.
No, it was under Obama.
It was under Obama.
It was under Obama.
The war in Donbass started in 2014, which was Obama.
After the 2014 that was lost.
Why do you cut it off at 2014?
That was already lost.
Why do you cut it off there?
Wait, what was already lost?
The thing under Obama.
You're confusing the Crimea and the Donbass. So Crimea was under Obama, and so was the war in the Donbass. So was the war in the Donbass.
Okay, but the Kerch Strait happened under Trump.
Yeah, so that was an attack that happened.
I need to ask Gibbs.
Yes.
Gibbs,
so why do you think that Russia?
Hold on, Gibbs. You said that CNN is calling for Biden to be replaced. That link you just shared in the group chat is not that.
What do you listen? That's one. Don't worry, I'll find another. I'll find another.
Hold on. Let's talk about honesty here.
Come on. Honesty. Can we cover the fact that everything you guys have said Trump hasn't answered? You guys just came up with it. Well, he did answer, but I don't like the answer. I don't find it.
That's not true. Again, tell me the answer on Palestine. He was asked about Palestine. What was his
if you are saying I am going to
what was his answer?
Wick, shut up and let me answer. If Trump is saying, I'm going to let Israel continue to attack Palestine, that is his answer on Palestine.
You didn't fucking answer the question.
Yes. So what you're saying is
answer a question at all.
But not
Maybe
the way
you
I
have some cognitive decline and some dementia.
He is letting Israel have their way with that war.
A free Palestine. He didn't answer that fucking shit at all.
If you are saying that you support Israel, you are saying that you support Israel's ideas of what should happen with Palestine. That is what you are saying.
He's deferring to Israel.
Artemis, stop interrupting me answering his question. If you told me you shot a man in Brazil and I told you I've never been to Brazil, I'm answering whether I shot him without saying whether I shot him. That wasn't what
he was asked. He wasn't asked about Israel. He was asked, do you support a free Palestinian state?
And he said, I am going to leave Israel to Israel in this conflict. He is saying it is their region. It is their answer.
A question.
That does.
That is a non-answer. It doesn't answer it at all.
It is answering it. Unless you are part of a belief system that thinks that you cannot be neutral in international conflict.
Wait. It is kind of an answer. It would be like, do you want steak? Like, should we have steak or ribs tonight? Oh, I'm going to leave it up to my wife. That is an answer.
That's an answer.
But that's not what he said on this.
He did. He said he would leave it to Israel. He would let Israel do what they're going to do.
That doesn't answer the question about whether or not he supports a free Palestinian state.
I think
it's a de facto answer.
I think
it's a de facto answer.
It depends if Israel wants
Israel has already stated. Israel has already stated it will never allow a Palestinian state.
In that link I sent, by the way, he absolutely says that they should step down. Go ahead and re-listen to it. I just
Israel
says there's strategists within the Democratic Party right now going to say that's a lie. I just got called. Even though I thought I posted the wrong one, that strategist right there on CNN says they're having conversations right now within the Democratic Party. One of them being to ask Biden to step down. In the clip I sent.
Wait, did you say Maddow said it?
Maddow also said. I said that. If y'all want to go see Maddow,
I'm not talking about the Maddow one. I'm talking about the CNN one. What you said, Gibbs, to be clear, this is the dishonesty here.
Oh,
what you said was that people on CNN.
After he says it on CNN.
You said, Gibbs. You said that people on CNN.
That's a person on CNN
was calling for.
That's what he's calling for.
Calling for people to step down.
That's what he just did in that video.
The link you gave me What the link you gave me is saying that people in the this man that has answered the question is saying that there are people within the Democratic Party, within the elite democratic institutions that are having conversations about it. These are fundamentally different things.
No,
You
absolutely.
understand
Go watch
that, right?
watch the clip. Watch the clip. He goes into a lengthy tirade about starting about 30 seconds in about how they're major strategists. And as a member on the CNN panel, he said exactly what I said verbatim. Also, if you want the Mad Out clip and the Joy, whatever her name is, clip, they're both on my Twitter page already. So like, we don't need to go through. But they both said it, and they're all prominent members on each of those platforms. So like to say that I'm sitting here misrepresenting.
You
what
tweeted
somebody's
those links like just now?
I tweeted
Is what
them
you're
like
saying?
20 minutes ago. Yeah.
I don't think Gibbs is like very wrong on this. Like it's very clear that it's clear that there's very serious conversations. Yeah,
the Democratic Party is known as this circular firing squad, right? So this is
it's clear that there's very serious and high level conversations about whether or not Biden should be the nominee. I mean, there hasn't been a convention yet. The next debate will be after the convention. So we talked about it before, but like Wick said, I think that probabilistically Biden's going to remain the candidate. For better or worse, I guess we'll figure it out come November. But I mean, certainly the probability of him not being the candidate has gone up by probably an order.
No, it has. So. And look, I'll give you this: Biden didn't terrible. There is a possibility that they do have a convention, that they do replace the guy. I don't think it's likely. I think if it does, I think it's just an L. I don't think that.
It's not going to happen.
Possibility that Biden just decides he doesn't want to do it no more.
Well, he did.
I don't think
that's not going to happen either.
It's possible. I mean, it's unlikely, but
I mean, it is possible. Yes, I'll agree to that. But I don't think that they don't have a parachute candidate to supplement at this point. They are so dug in that it's far too late.
You need to do a lot of aesthetic work to get a guy like Newsom ready. Like he has a lot of baggage he's carrying in. They would need a long runway to get him cleaned up enough to be a president.
If DeSantis can roast Gavin with the poop map, imagine what Trump can do with the poop map. That's the end of like.
Well, it's not just the poop map. It's the terrible educational rankings. It's a lot of different.
Yeah, but that doesn't have the pool the poop map does.
The poop map is much more effective, I think.
Poop map is pretty effective, but.
Hold on.
I mean, that's a death. Like, I don't know how Newsom gets elected next year. Like, the poop map. To be totally honest with you, that's crazy.
What's up, Artemis?
Because
do you have anybody off the top of your head that could bring the Democratic Party together in an actual cohesive manner to vote?
I mean, I think that I actually kind of disagree with. I don't know who said it, but I think the Democratic, maybe it was you, Artemis. I think the Democratic depth chart is actually pretty large. Obviously, if you're asking who would my ideal candidate be, honestly, I think Andy Beshear in Kentucky is like a really underrated pick. He almost certainly isn't going to be the person that they end up going with. I think like somebody like a Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom is much more likely. And to be fair, look, Democrats, just like all these Republicans who are like, I don't know, maybe because I voted for Haley, they're all going to vote for Trump. Okay, that's all bullshit. All right, there's not a significant percentage of Republicans who are not going to vote for Trump. And whoever has a Democrat next to their name, whether it's Gavin Newsom or Kamala Harris, they're going to get 98% of Democrats who vote for him. And, with regard to Gavin Newsom's potential weaknesses as a general election candidate, I think that while it's true that California is not like the most well-governed state, I mean, I'm certainly not going to pretend otherwise. I think he would probably do just fine. I don't think he would really drag the ticket down. And to be fair, if the issue is like, will he be able to defend his record? It's clear that he'd probably be able to defend his record better than Biden, right? So if that's what...
I mean, like verbally, in terms of, verbal acuity, but the issue is defending his record specifically on California would become tremendously hard. Right? When you're the climate change president who won't get the electrical companies to clean up their infrastructure that cause like 80% of the wildfires in your state every year. You're the for the poor president whose poverty rate continues to soar. You're the housing first president whose housing market is the most fucked in the entire country.
Do you think Trump would be able to hammer him on any of that?
Yes.
He wasn't able to hammer Biden.
Gavin Newsom would be the easiest person to write a debate script against in the Democratic Party. Yeah.
I think he'd be easy to
2016 Trump maybe.
Beating Gavin Newsom in a debate is as easy as reading a piece of paper, dude. He sucks. His record is terrible.
True.
Yeah, but his record is awful. Trump is you're assuming Trump.
We talked about how Ron DeSantis was the floundering completely awful, charisma void of a person, and he arguably beat Newsom in a debate.
No,
so
he didn't argue.
Trump
He beat his
could do it.
ass. He whooped his ass up
No,
and down
but
the
you
court.
remember the rumor
Like Prime Mike
thinks that
Tyson.
Biden might have salvaged a win in this debate. So they probably thought Newsom won that debate.
OJ's
But
wife did
to
better
most
fight than
people
Newsom did
in the
against
middle who are
DeSantis.
undecided, Ron DeSantis fucking dog walked Newsom in that debate. And people are going to argue, well, that was a biased debate. Biden literally set the rules for this debate and got his ass dog walked as well.
I
So
don't
it's
think.
like-
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think Trump can do it. Trump couldn't. Trump couldn't bury Biden tonight. He beat Biden, but he couldn't bury Biden tonight. I think
He did on a
Newsom
couple of
gets
points,
up on
especially
stage
early.
with
When-
Trump. Newsom just cleans house.
He doesn't. Newsom's not a good debater,
You're
dude.
nuts.
He's not a good debater.
He doesn't
Here's
have to
the
be a
issue.
good
Newsom
leader.
comes off
That's
like
kind
a
of the point, right?
stereotypical elitist
Yes.
neoliberal. Like that's
Yep.
his personality.
I
That's
think
how he
that
comes off in
beats
every
Trump.
debate he's
No,
played.
you want a guy who will
what are you
humanize
talking about?
Trump?
He's like
It's Newsom.
Bloomberg.
Yeah.
The issue being is that the
Worse.
longer they wait, and if they try to bring in Newsom at the 11th hour, Trump can say whatever he wants because Newsom will not have the time to salvage that
Yes.
reputational damage.
I think
He needs a
we
runway
bring in.
to
I think
be
we bring in.
ready.
Look, if we are replacing Biden, right? And if we
I
do,
hope
I
not.
don't think we will. If we do, Michelle Obama.
I mean, I don't think
She
she.
doesn't
If she
want
was
us
going to be a
to
candidate,
win.
she'd be one.
Hillary
I-
Clinton. Bring back
She'll
Hillary.
never do it.
I agree with Econo Boy. You throw Bashir out there, see how he does. If you fuck it up, then it's not a big player's reputation that you're fucking up
Yeah.
in terms of the presidency. Like the GOP and Ron DeSantis probably made a mistake having Ron DeSantis run because you probably fucked his
agree,
ability to win in future elections because of how he performed in this one. With Bashir, it's the perfect move. If Biden were to somehow poof into non-existence tomorrow, Bashir is a low risk, very white bread move. You still get the votes that are anti-Trump. You probably can't get anyone to vote who wasn't going to vote, but
You
don't
probably
win
lose all the
anything.
baggage from the Palestinian stuff, from the Israeli stuff.
I think Bashir would be, for a number of reasons, like if I could just like pick the candidate, Bashir would probably be like the strongest candidate. But I mean, what I disagree with though, Jeb, is the idea that like Gavin would be like a disaster, because I think that for every criticism on policy and governance that you could have, I mean, legitimately have about Gavin Newsom, there's probably 10 that you could have about Trump. And I think that in a debate setting, because that's kind of mostly what you've been talking about, Gavin, what he does do well in a debate is go on the offensive, right? And I think that Gavin would probably do a much better job at attacking Trump's record, shifting focus, talking about the general messaging of the party. I mean, Gavin Newsom is like almost like a proto-Obama, right? Like Gavin Newsom seems like
No
a pretty
fucking way.
competent
No,
politician.
No.
Gavin Newsom
Obama's
almost
appeal.
single-handedly tank like gay marriage in California during the
Yeah,
top 8 election.
Obama's
Like, his
appeal was.
arrogance in California is fucking legendary.
Yes.
He almost single-handedly
I-
tanked that election.
So again, I agree. Gavin Newsom is not he's not my ideal choice, right? But I'm just saying that the idea that he's like a disaster.
Why not? If we're going to open this up, let's open it up. Let's open up the pit. Rob Moore,
The
welcome.
proto-Obama
Just
thing
look
is an
up- just
issue
look up the-
because Obama's
The Whether
appeal
You
was
Like
very.
Bernard's endorsement, okay? Or the
Oh,
Whether You Like
yeah.
Law commercial from Gavin Newsom.
Obama
Okay,
was
Rob,
very
hold on,
human
hold
in his
on,
appeal,
hold on,
and
hold
Gavin
on.
Newsom is a
Hold on,
fucking
dude,
robot.
shut up.
really quiet.
Shut up. Rob.
Yes.
I'm going to give you the first five. I'm going to give you this time a deserved thrumping of us. Go ahead. I know you want to say it. Get it out.
Yeah. I mean, I could just sit here and cackle for 5 minutes if I wanted. But I think the more important thing to take away from this, and I want to direct this specifically at people like Wick, who I like Wick, but the left-wing streamers that I've been debating for 4+ years. I want to say to you and to all of the pundits and all of the people in the Biden administration and all of the people in the mainstream media that have lied to us for 4 years and said that there weren't signs of cognitive decline, fuck you. I don't trust anything you'll ever say again.
Exactly.
This has been, let me finish. This has been the most blatant. I've gone on stream after stream after stream with left-wingers. When I say Biden clearly has dementia, they say, that's an exaggeration. I've talked to Dylan Burns about it. I've talked to people in your panels about it. I've talked to Pondering, talked to Pisco, talked to Destiny. Fuck all of you. You're all blatant liars. We all knew you were full of shit, and now the whole world sees it, and you're just small potatoes just like I am. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to big-time anyone here, but what's more important is that that the vaunted fourth estate, the media, that knows that Biden takes scripted questions, that knows that he hid in his basement when he was running in 2020, they knew this the whole time. And now they're out there today pretending like, oh, geez, there seem to be some problems. Bullshit. They are blatant liars. That's what they are. And now I want you to take a step back and say, geez, all of the debates we've been having with people like Rob recently about the need to hear the audio tapes from special counsel Hur's interview, maybe now we see that Rob had a point when he said, well, the transcripts aren't enough. The reason they're being hid is because it clearly shows Biden's mental decline. The reason that Biden wasn't charged with mishandling classified documents was because Hur said, when I'm talking to him, he comes across as a sympathetic old man that doesn't know where he was. And lefty after lefty that I talk to or that I see on the media or that their Democrat politician said, you're full of shit, Rob. You're full of shit. Everyone like Rob. No, there's nothing to see there. Biden's the sharpest guy in the room behind the scenes. Fuck all of you. I will never let you live this down. Just want to let you know that. That's where I'm coming from.
Biden's debate, especially at the beginning, I will give you, was a disaster. I was very worried. But Trump couldn't bury him tonight. Trump couldn't bury him tonight. Trump
didn't need to.
got cooked on several points by this demented old man who didn't know what he was talking about. Why do we want a leader in place that can't beat a comatose patient? Why?
Again,
He spoke for himself. He didn't need
those
to.
glasses are looking really rose-colored.
Why? Right?
I'll answer real
Do you think
quick.
Trump did like super well?
No, I think I'd give Trump a B minus. So let me
B minus. Oh God. Okay.
Let me clarify. Right? Like, Trump was B minus. Trump was in a difficult spot because had Trump came out and been like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Look at this dementia-addled old bastard. Like, he doesn't know where he is." Had he did that, people like you, Wick, maybe not you specifically, but so many people would say, see, Trump's not presidential. He just wants to be an aggressive bully. Trump's audience wasn't me. Trump's audience was probably more someone like Jeb Tan or people that are like, I can't stand Trump personally. I think he's an asshole. I think he's a douche. I hate him, but Biden's terrible. The policies of Biden are terrible. So where am I going? That was Trump's audience tonight. And so if Trump just comes out and spikes the ball, which there are certainly a lot of ground he left on the table, I completely agree with that. But had he done that in the way that someone like me would have, everyone would be saying, that's not presidential. That's too much. That shows that Trump's this very uncouth guy. So I personally would have liked to have seen Trump be more on offense. And there were things he left on the table. Let me give you an example. His answer to the January 6th shit wasn't that good, but none of that matters, Wick. We can sit here with rose-colored glasses, as Jeb's hand says, all you want. The specific answers, and there's many, many times that Biden was lying about the Border Patrol, about the 3 hoaxes, the inject bleach he said, about I couldn't believe that Biden was the one that brought up Charlottesville. After Snopes debunked it this week after 4 years, I thought Trump would bring it up, but it was Biden, right? And so he's bringing up all these bullshit lies, but that's irrelevant. I can sit here for 4 hours and talk to you about specifically line by line what they said. All people are taking away from this is Biden clearly has dementia. Oh my God, this guy is the leader of the strongest country in the world, and he doesn't know where the fuck he is. And people like Wick and Democrats have gaslit us for years. No, don't believe your lying eyes. And now you're eating fucking crow and you're trying to say, well, I think Trump could have spiked the ball a little better.
Had some issues. Biden was old. Biden was slow. Biden had trouble tonight, yes. But dementia, cognitive decline?
Cognitive decline,
absolutely. Wait, hold on. This is important. Yes. I remember just...
It was old. It was old.
It was one of your panels. Like, we had a Hur report debate. I was the one who read the Hur report. But, like, throughout the entire thing, when I was bringing up, like, the Hur report says this, the Hur report says this, nothing but denials, right? Deny. They're not releasing the audio recording, and now you can't deny it. I mean, it was right there in front of everybody. I think Rob has a point there.
I mean, in addition to that, how
if you think I'm not saying, I want to just make the record clear because, one, I'm an honest person. I try to be an honest person. I can't sit here and lie and say that Biden did well, that he looked good, that this was a win for him. It wasn't. Biden didn't win. Biden lost. Biden lost badly. Biden looked bad in this debate. Hold on, let me finish. He struggled. He did. But I think you are overplaying your hand when you say dementia.
Dude, real quick, I'll just say this. I don't want to monopolize. I just say this. Go to Politico right now and look at their top headline. Not Fox News, not Breitbart, not Jebtan, not Gibbs, not Lactoid, not Rob. Go to Politico and look at their fucking headline.
Or
MSNBC
right now.
I did not expect what I just saw. I did not.
Yeah, I thought it was a meme. I thought it was a lie. The headline says, Politico, in big words, quote, Biden is toast. Democrats are in full freak out over president's debate performance. Next, from Politico staff, Biden bombs, Trump pounces. Wick, when even left-wing people that have carried water for Biden for 4 years are rats fleeing the ship, please, please, please don't make a bigger ass of yourself than you already have. Yes,
hold on.
He has cognitive decline.
Which one of those headlines says dementia? Like, that's what.
Yeah, which one of those says dementia?
Shit.
Does it matter? Clearly does not.
That's what you're sticking on.
Look,
please.
Okay,
No, the dementia is a made-up pill. He's
I
cognitively
understand.
declining. You do not need dementia to cognitively decline. You can have
Hold on, let me answer. Let me answer, then we'll open this up. I want to hear what everyone has to say, but let me answer and respond. Yes, there's going to be freak out and panic. Democrats freak out. That's been the case forever. Democrats have been freaking out forever. I personally think, one, these are my calls here, and we can clip this, we can go back, and we can look at this. One, I think the chance is bigger now than it was before, but I still don't think Biden's replaced as the nominee. I think they stick with him. I don't think he's getting replaced. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think this is going to have
a number on it?
Yes, I think that there's before tonight it was a 1% chance. After tonight, now I think it's a 20% chance. Still very, very low. Okay. Now, the second thing I'll say, right? Initially, this will move the needle. I think Biden goes down in the polls. But I think that when it comes to September, I think he still has a chance to pull this off. I think we can still pull this one off. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think Biden's policies are in his mid-administration is just better than Trump's. And even if Biden is in a coma, in a wheelchair, and they have to drug him up, okay,
that's the point.
I'm still voting for him.
That's the point, Wick. That's what we've been telling you all. That we've all known that's who Biden was. We know that Biden's not running his administration. Look, I don't give a shit to get in the parsing of words with you and liberal cluck about, well, is that technically the definition
Well,
of
you're
dementia?
the one that said dementia, though. Like,
liberal cluck,
I
I get it. No, I get that. I get to want to hyper focus on the specific words I said. When you're of the camp that told us for 4 fucking years that there was nothing wrong with Biden, yes, clearly I'm using words off the cuff, laughing at you fucking idiots for your obvious lies that you've been telling for 4 years. So am I a medical professional that can diagnose that he has dementia? No. Am I someone who could read the Her report and understand that the reason he was let off the hook for mishandling classified documents is because he had, quote, cognitive decline? Yeah. Can I see that obvious cognitive decline way back when Biden was running in 2020? Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. You're quoting the Her report when he did not say cognitive decline.
What did he say? Quote me what he said.
We have also considered that at a trial, Mr. Biden will likely present himself to us as a jury, as he did during the interview of him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with poor memory.
Or that's
one part of it. There's many other parts.
He couldn't even remember when his son died.
I mean,
that is a big fucking problem.
No, that's not true. The only thing Biden says that he did, and that he has said the exact date as well. And at around that time, he was told.
He didn't.
He was told directly by her in the transcript that he had a photographic memory of the stuff that he being presented to.
No, what he did was he had the year. He had the year of his son's death. This is so fucking funny. First, I'll just say this. I'm not even going to get into this debate with you people. The mere fact that you're trying to parse this out is a loss on my part optically. Anyone who's reasonably objective, just know this, that Biden defenders, and there are people on this panel that defended him, tried to gaslight us all and say that there wasn't clear evidence of his cognitive decline. This cognitive decline is used to get him off the hook when it comes to crimes he committed. But then we're told, oh, trust us, though, even though you can't see any of the behind the scenes audio tapes or anything like that, he's sharp as a tack behind the scenes.
I wanted them to look. I've always been for them releasing those reports. I think that everyone should read those reports. I think that they should release the audio files. I agree with you on that. I've never fought you on that, Rob.
Unfortunately, his own administration is pushing against what you're wanting with.
That's right.
Sure. I'm not.
Let me ask you real quick. Should Garland go to jail for violating a subpoena, for being held in contempt?
I don't know enough about that. I'm not.
Of course you don't. And I just want to reiterate this point. What Wick said is the truth, which is they don't give a fuck. But the difference between, look, me and Jeb Tan have gone back and forth a lot. Me and Gibbs have gone back and forth, right? Here's the fact, though. We're telling you what we honestly believe. You fuckers didn't care because I know what the truth is. You hate Trump so much, you would literally take a comatose pacing over Trump.
Yes,
That's
because I think Trump is a threat to democracy.
Right, we
Trump
get the talking points. I got it.
Unpatriotic. He will destroy this country.
But yeah,
If I was in a swing state, though, I would
finish
I wanna
10
ask a
seconds. I
question.
promise 10 seconds, right? The fact is, we all knew that, but you wouldn't be honest about it. So you had to lie and say,
I'm claiming that I wasn't honest about that. I've said this before today. I said that before today.
Okay, let me go back and forth with Wick here. You said before today that Biden clearly had cognitive decline?
No, I said that even if he was in a coma, I would vote for him.
That's the point. What I'm saying is, because you believe that you have gaslit people that you haven't seen the obvious signs of cognitive decline. Because the truth is, deep down, you don't give a shit. You don't give a shit if he has cognitive decline because in your head, you're like, well, Trump's a threat to democracy, so it doesn't matter anyways. Jeb Tan doesn't like Trump. Jeb Tan's not voting for Trump. But he didn't gaslight us and say, oh, therefore, I don't see signs of Biden's cognitive decline. He said, no, Biden clearly has cognitive decline. That's the difference. He told the truth, and he gave reasons, and you all didn't. And it's not just you, Wick, and it's not just Liberal Cluck. I don't know Liberal Cluck's position necessarily, but it's all the people on CNN and the New York Times and the Biden administration and the academics. And those people matter because they shape our discourse.
Yeah, and my thing is too, that's what informed my position on this debate is before I wasn't voting for Trump because my vote doesn't matter for president anyway. But if I was in a swing state, I was like, I still am not going to vote for Trump. I want the GOP to nominate conservatives. That's where I'm at. I'm not going to vote for the GOP unless they nominate a conservative.
Right,
if I was in a swing state and I saw that right now, I'd probably vote for. I'd probably be voting
just to hold on. Let me just back off that. Jump in here real quick.
I'm not voting for president.
I want to address a couple things. One, I'm so glad Jeb Tan said that because we were on a panel not too long ago. We were arguing about conservatism, and I sat here and said earlier tonight that Trump is a moderate, and I was told I was crazy. He's an extremist, right? And then that's fine. I'm just happy that you said that. I'm sure you think that. But here's what I will give Wick some credit. He has stood on his principle and said from day one he would vote for basically anybody, as long as it was Biden, not anybody, but he was basically stood by his point. Now I don't know if
Bowman.
Sure, I'm not gonna.
Bowman versus Trump.
I will let you defend yourself in a second, or whatever. But I want to say that Wick has definitely stood on principle and stood on. However,
what just said right there.
Just someone finish
Bowman versus Trump. Who do you vote for there?
I don't know. I'd have to really think about that.
What if Bowman fell into a coma? Then you'd vote for him like Biden?
I gotta say, the only thing Biden didn't do on this panel was show off his Roomba sponsorship. That was
Biden administration has been.
It would be the exact same administration with Bowman.
See, Bowman would have pulled a fire alarm in that debate. Okay, he would have ended it early.
Bowman would bring the administration.
If only he was still there.
Only he was there.
Hold on.
Okay, I want to hear from Econoboy. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, on Rob's point, obviously you're grouping us all together. I mean, I've been very open about saying that Biden obviously has age-related decline. I just
that may be true. I didn't mention you. I didn't even recognize you, Econoboy. I've never seen your face.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Nice to meet you.
First time. But no, I mean, I just I think there were a lot of. I mean, it could be wrong. Obviously, there's probably a lot of pundits and people. I don't know if there's some people on podcasts that are just totally, crazy about it or whatever. But I feel like there's a lot of people who said anybody but Trump. I feel like that's been
that's one thing.
Been open
but
about.
That's I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is that letting you then gaslight. Oh, and I don't see a cognitive problem with Biden. That's the problem. And I've been that way in the past. Like, for example, at one point in my life, I was probably anyone but George Bush, though I guess not because I didn't vote for Kerry. But I understand that. Like, I hate this person so much, I'll vote against them. That's understandable, even if I don't agree with it in all cases. The problem I have is when you allow that to cloud up the obvious warts on the person you're voting for. And it's been obvious. Why couldn't people have just said that argument in 2020? Yeah, Biden, it's clear Biden has declined, but it's okay because he'll appoint people that'll really run the show and they'll do better than Trump. That's an argument. I don't have a problem with that argument.
We did make that argument.
He has told me that at least.
Yes.
Okay, then
Biden is old. We know Biden is old. He has old people problems. I have disagreed with several things that Biden has done. I disagreed strongly with him initially taking the Houthis off the terrorist watch list. I thought that was a mistake. I've disagreed with Biden on several policies, right? But I think that overall, Biden is just better than Trump. His policies are better than Trump.
Quick, you stream a lot. Right?
Sure.
And maybe this exists. You haven't defended so far this. Show me the clip of you saying clearly Biden has cognitive mental decline. Show me the tweet of
Would it work if I said clearly Biden is old?
No, that's different.
No, because Trump
Well,
is
I don't
old
know
as
if I've
well.
ever used the word.
Wait, to be fair,
Trump
talk about
Trump.
that hurt.
He doesn't can be used against him.
That hurt.
He refuses it multiple times. He's had the opportunity to criticize.
Hold on, stop. Because maybe Lactoid.
Wait, because I remember the her debate, and I think that you were the only one actually who was like you were the most conciliatory. You were saying, yeah, he's clearly not what he used to be. He's clearly he's suffering. He's going down. I don't think you went as far as I did, obviously, or what the Her report did. But I mean, you were better than most.
Would you like to issue your apology now, Rob Moore?
No, because it's clearly too different.
I understand.
Let me explain.
Okay, so fair enough. You just came on here to rant. You didn't actually care what I had to say.
That's
you
not true at all.
actually care what my position was.
Not true.
When Lactoid, who is not a Democrat, backed me up and remembered better than I can. Maybe I have cognitive, right?
Okay,
when Lactoid did it and pushed that I have admitted to Biden's issues, right? Then again, I think I'm.
That was something I said.
Allow me to retort. Allow me to retort.
Well.
So these are deep-felt beliefs that Wick has so much that he couldn't remember having those beliefs until Lactoid said, "I think you said that at one point."
Yeah, it's midnight, and I'm an old fucking man.
You had your chance to speak, Wick. Secondly, like I've said the same about Trump. I bet Jeb Tan and Gibbs have said the same about Trump. Trump is older. He doesn't have the same energy that he had in 2016. I absolutely agree with that statement. That's different than when people are specifically making the accusation, this dude's checked out. He's not there. In fact, when we look at things like the Her report, they're literally saying that they can't charge him with crimes because he is so addled with recall issues and memory issues and cognitive issues that he would be seen as a jury. And then people that are concerned about the country say, wait a minute, if this dude's so addled he can't be charged with these crimes, how can he be the leader of the free world? How can that be? I'm asking you just saying, yeah, he slowed down a little in his old age is different than that accusation. Now, what I'm asking you specifically, I will tell you right now, Trump has slowed down in his old age. That is completely different. What I've seen, and I can't speak to you specifically, Wick, but what I've seen is over and over and over, people that I see talk on this issue have said, Biden doesn't have cognitive decline like that. And actually look at Trump's gaffes. Actually, Trump's the one who has decline. And you could see on the stage tonight what we've all known. That although it is true that Trump has gaffes and Trump's gotten older, it is a different fucking ballpark. Biden has checked out the lunch, and we've known it for years, and I bet you've never said that. That's my guess.
I'm saying it right now that Trump absolutely looked better, looked more with it, looked more able, right? He, however, didn't look good. But he was better than Biden. Yes.
I think it looks fine. Hold on. Before we continue.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to give Econoboy an out. Time to say goodbye. Okay. He was kind enough to join us for the watch, and so I wanted to make sure that he has a chance to say goodbye. So go ahead.
Yeah, guys, I just wanted to check out. It's pretty late. Well, I'm actually in Central Time. It's probably later where most of you guys are. But yeah, I'm in Texas with Gibbs, best state, besides the government, obviously. But anyway, thanks for having me, guys. Biden did definitely not as good as I wanted him to do. It's a long time until September, the next debate. We'll see. I think the polls will tighten until then. And yeah, if you're interested in checking my stuff out, Econoboy on YouTube. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Check it out. I see your face, man.
Can I get an out as well?
Yes, yeah. We're gonna kind of wrap it up because it is
real quick. Did anybody else think Econoboy be an uggo? Because he never shows his face. Seems like a handsome gentleman.
Usually, are you just calling him an uggo? Because he's
holding out.
Oh, you're calling Econoboy a he? Did you?
No, he's asking.
Did I screw that up? Okay, my bad.
No, but yeah. Anyone who wants it out, now's the time. I know Lactoid wants it. And
I'm gonna head out too.
All right. You can find me at Lactoid TV on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Yeah, I'm looking forward to everybody no longer denying the obvious. This is an exciting new time that we live in which we can actually acknowledge what we see with our eyes. I love it. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Check him out, gang. We really love Lactoid here. Bye-bye, buddy. And Daniela, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Wick, for getting me on.
All right, guys, that was interesting. Yeah, no, Rob brings a level of energy that's pretty incredible. He just fucking goes for it. I do like Rob. He is very aggressive though, and yeah, so that's just something. It's just something about him, I guess. Yeah, I think Trump won this debate. I think, as most people, even the Democrats, were saying, it's pretty straightforward, and I don't really know what else. I mean, everything that can be said, I think, has been said. So no, I really appreciate you guys tuning in for whether or not it was on Wix during the actual debate or afterwards. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. We're gonna raid on out, and we will raid on out into Rob. We'll give him for his energy. We'll give him some. We'll give him some follow or some viewers. We'll give him a raid. So, yeah, thanks, guys. Oh, and for all of you who gave bit subs, all that good shit, really appreciate it. Thanks. Looking at you, Fetter.
Sympathetic. Now, if I wanted Trump to go for the jugular, I did, but I